What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the vlog. Thanks for pressing play. Today, I'm gonna make a video that I've had requested now a lot, and that is a garage update video, because we've done a lot here in the garage and a lot of questions have come up on what cabinets I'm using, what kind of pressure washer I'm using, what those things are hanging on the wall, all kinds of questions. So let's go over everything that we've done in this garage since the very beginning. And like I said, it's a lot. All right, so we're gonna start off with showing a couple pictures, and really I have to dig through YouTube to find some photos of what this garage used to look like. I have done a lot of work in here to make this kind of my office, so to speak, and fitting of some of the cars that I put in here. So let's start off with the before. I wanna put a couple clips in here of what this looked like when we moved in. Okay, so now that you've seen those clips, you know this looks already substantially different, especially if you're a newer subscriber and you never saw what it looked like before. You're gonna realize pretty quickly we've done a lot of work here, but we're gonna go over all of the work we've done. And I think probably the best part to start with would be the lighting. We just recently did some hexagon lighting here in the garage, and I think that really helped make this look like it should. So, as you can see on the car, the hexagon lighting really makes this thing look spotless. It makes it look shiny, reflective, just freshly ceramic coated, and it's mostly because of the lights, but also it has been ceramic coated. But either way, it makes cars look really, really awesome. And whenever I put these lights in here, one of the biggest questions I got from many people was, where did you get them? Which ones are they? Before I answer that, let's take a look at these. So you can get a better look at this angle of how many I had to use here. So before I tell you where I bought them, I'm gonna tell you that I bought 4 boxes of these things, and they were around $100 a box. So $400 in lighting plus installation, which was another $1,000 because of the somewhat complicated process. So as you can see, that's just part of the center and the left side of the garage. If we move further back the garage, you're gonna see I have a lot more lights in the back towards the cabinets, which of course we're gonna go over as well. Now these are Cree LEDs, which are some of the best LEDs out there, and you can get them from Lowe's. So Lowe's sells them in a box form. Each box makes 5 hexagons, which is the same pattern you can see in the center of my garage, which is right there. Now this entire pattern is 1 box. So what we did, 1 box in the center, and then off to the side you can see we did just 3 to kind of give some light over the car, as well as on the other side. So Cree LEDs from Lowe's. I will link all of this stuff down below, by the way, guys. If you're interested in any of this garage stuff, check out the links down below to grab all of this. Now, obviously, while we're looking at the ceiling and showing off these lights, you can also see I painted the ceiling black. So all of the ceiling is black, including the beam and the ductwork that runs through. This was really done to just make everything on the ceiling kind of disappear, but also it gives the hexagon lighting just that much more of a base to really just look awesome on the ceiling. The next thing I get asked about pretty much all the time is this. A lot of people think this is an air compressor of some kind, but this is actually my pressure washer setup. So from the top working down, we have the AR Blue Clean 630 TSS Hot, which will allow hot water to be pumped through. So if you're in the Northeast like I am, you can wash your cars during the winter time as well with either hot or warm water. From there, all stainless steel quick connects. Moving downwards, of course, I have the water supply lines attached to a hose bib here and into my No Spots Pro, which of course is a spotless final rinse. And above that, we have the Cox reel system with an MTM 100-foot black hose. And that's pretty much the setup there. I mean, I did a lot of custom stainless steel shelving and setup here to get it where it looks today, but it's super functional and it looks really great on the wall. Right beside that, of course, we got the Google Home, because you know we gotta have some music in here from time to time. Now I also had these walls plastered and painted. So as you can see, it's a kind of a lighter gray, but the wall was plastered because this is a drywall setup where the wall on the other side is block. So I wanted to maintain this looking more like the house. And of course, it's not a car guy garage unless you have a TV. This was really just kind of an older TV we had laying around that I thought I'd throw down here and plug a Chromecast into that will just kind of circulate my pictures in the background while I'm filming. Now, ignore some of this stuff down here, guys. We are doing a lot of work here in the house to get it ready for sale. If you haven't seen it yet, my wife and I are actually buying a new house where we're gonna make an entire series out of getting that garage ready to go. And a lot of the stuff that we're doing here is gonna be similar, but some of it's gonna be different too. And I'm gonna do that in stages on camera so you guys can see exactly what we're doing, how we're doing it, what products we're using, and all that stuff. Because like I said, the questions I've got about this particular setup, there's a lot, and I would like to just create that series so I could just send that to people in the future asking about the parts that we're using. Now, moving further back here, we have the Milwaukee tool chest. So all my tools go into that particular Milwaukee chest. Beside that, of course, is the New Age Bold cabinets. I've gotten a ton of questions about these, how much I like them, how they hold up, all that stuff. I've had these since 2019, so moving on 7 years. No issues with anything. No denting, no scratching, no issues with how much they can hold, and these cabinets are full. Between microfiber rags, oil containers, oil filters, transmission filters, all kinds of detailing products. The stuff's not necessarily light, and it's stuffed in there pretty good. It's great for organization in your garage. If you guys need cabinets, trust me when I tell you the New Age stuff, you've probably heard bad things about it. I know I did initially as well. The pricing and the way that they hold up is perfect. You are not gonna have to worry about spending a little bit less on these and getting a good product because they are fantastic. As you can see with my current setup here, it also comes with a stainless steel top workbench, so you can have, all kinds of stuff up there as well. If you wanted to put a vise or something up there, you could do that. Mine is kind of loaded up with stuff right now because we've been doing a lot of work on C8 Corvettes, lowering them, putting inventory intakes, throttle bodies, all that good stuff. So normally it doesn't look like that, but it is good for working on as well. Now, right above that, I've gotten questions about that too. That Corvette emblem, that Corvette flag, that's actually from a company called Chrome Domes. I'll put it in the description down below. The ZR1 logo right above that you might be able to see is also from them. So if you want to kind of spice up your garage and make it look cool, those things are awesome. And they weren't that badly priced either. I believe that Corvette emblem was like 50 bucks. Anyway, moving on from there, guys, we have some tires back here. This is for my ZR1. That's going to be a future video coming up, so ignore those. Above that, Hulse Designs custom carbon fiber engine covers. Ignore that for now too, that's another video. And then of course a Seawolf gray painted Z06 intake, also for a different car, future video. So just ignore those for now. Now, when we did the floors, of course we did the epoxy style floor here. I had Epoxy Depot do it. All the contact information will be in the description down below, but they did a black and gray flake and then also put my logo under the clear coat. So as you can see here, this is actually under the clear coat of the epoxy. So this is permanent. There's no getting rid of this unless you cover it up with some additional flake or something, which I'm gonna probably have to do when we move out of here. Anyway, really cool, really interesting setup here because like I showed in the beginning, you can kind of see what these garage floors looked like initially. They were not good. So the epoxy really brought this whole thing to life and it looks 1,000 times better than it did when we moved in. This custom logo under the clear coat was actually Epoxy Depot's idea and it was actually a pretty good one. So the area here, the garage floor, I guess we'll start talking a little bit about pricing as well. To epoxy a two-car garage, this garage is a little bit bigger than a normal two-car garage. It's about 22 feet by 24 feet deep. Usually they're closer to 20 by 20. This is just a hair bigger. So this with the custom logo was gonna cost right around $2,500 to $3,000. That's what you would have paid for this floor if you want something like this in your garage. These cabinets, the New Age Bold cabinets, this is basically their entry level. You can get them in a couple different colors. These ones here are black and gray. You can get all black or black and red. These ones cost right around $2,500 as well, and they were shipped here. So luckily for me, I didn't have any damage, but it is kind of common to get these damaged. Just keep that in mind. The Milwaukee tool chest, I believe, was $700 from Home Depot, of course. A lot of the tools I use are Milwaukee fuel, so I thought it fitting to also have a Milwaukee tool chest, but that's all organized really nicely with my sockets, power tools, ratchets, basically everything we need to work on cars right here out of the garage. Over here in the corner, we have a little hanger for the leaf blower that I use mostly to blow the garage out because of the epoxy flooring. I'm able to blow leaves and dirt pretty much right out with just a leaf blower, and it works pretty well at that. Over on top, we got a little handheld vacuum that is battery powered with the same battery that all the Milwaukee tools take, so always good to have one of those. I've gotten a lot of questions about what this is, and it is not a vacuum cleaner. This is actually a master blaster that I have hung up here. And what that is a way to use heated filtered air to blow your car off after washing it. So the less you're touching your paint, the better for scratches and all that kind of stuff. And when you're ceramic coated like my car is, this thing blows water pretty much right off. These are the quick jacks that we choose to use here. These are the 5000 TLX, which is long enough to reach both jack points on the C8 Corvette, and they're really useful. Obviously, we've been doing lowerings and inventories and everything else, but to lower this car, we got to get it up in the air. These things work perfectly for it. So we've been doing that pretty much every weekend. That's why they're still out, but ultimately they can be put away, and where they go is actually up here on those hangers right there. So they can be hung up on the wall whenever you're not using them, but to keep things as tidy as I possibly can with the hydraulic lines and everything, I actually kept the motor head at the bottom of my new age cabinet. So like I said, these things are an absolute lifesaver when it comes to garage space, and you can do this kind of thing and kind of hide the parts that you need to use. And while we're here, you can kind of see what I'm talking about with this being basically fully loaded up. We got all kinds of cans in here, detailed products, all kinds of stuff. And like I said, normally this is a lot more organized, but we've been kind of busy the last month doing installs for subscribers, which by the way, if you have a C8 Corvette or pretty much any Corvette, you need something done with it, let me know. You bring it to me, we do it for cheaper than what the dealership will do it for, and your car is taken care of a lot better than it is at the dealership. But anyway, that's just one of the cabinets, and for the time being at least, I also have the control for the quick jacks kind of hanging here on a magnetic mount just so we're ready to go. Now over here is our bench of all the parts that we need to work on a C8 Corvette for lowering purposes, inventory, wheel spacers. These are all the parts you need, all the tools you need to get those parts done. So yeah, this is why it's daunting to some people. Now behind that is an actual vacuum. This is from Giraffe Tools. This is a wall-mounted vacuum with a 50-foot hose. You can pull that out, and I use this thing all the freaking time. It is absolutely fantastic how much it sucks. Yeah, in a good way. It really does the job nicely. Obviously, we painted the back wall here black as well. So gray on the sides, black on the back, black on the ceiling as well. And then above that, we have the Giraffe Tools 50-foot extension reel with a 12-gauge wire in there. So that's important if you're pulling more than 15 amps, and the Master Blaster does. So I needed something that was gonna give me a little bit more amperage without possibly melting or anything crazy like that. So again, big shout out to Giraffe Tools. They make stuff pretty nice. Over on the left here, we do have a camera. Of course, we got to monitor our babies. Can't forget that stuff. And then here is the ZR1 poster you get with the C7 ZR1 with your VIN number down there at the bottom. Got to hang that up. This is the other quick jack, of course, both of them hooked up and both pulling power and hydraulic fluid from that new age cabinet back there, which as you can see, just really looks good and helps organize the garage really nicely. In the corner here, we have our race ramps. These are the 67-inch versions, and they will raise your car up 12 inches. So these are really what you want if you just need to do something quick versus using the quick jacks and then the rest of the pieces over there in the corner. So just basically keeping them tidy, but they do get used quite frequently. These are really, really good to use if you don't have quick jacks especially. These things will let you do 90% of what you can do with the quick jack. The garage door openers we chose to go with were the LiftMaster, powered by MyQ, of course. They also have cameras on them, and they all can be battery powered backup. But most importantly, they are able to be controlled with Wi-Fi, which is nice. So you can come and go as you please without keys, just use your phone to open it up. So again, guys, the new age cabinets are probably what I got the most questions about, and they really have done well here. They really look nice in the garage. They match with the kind of the color scheme I'm going with. Really big thumbs up. I'll link all this stuff down below. Again, guys, if you're interested, please check it out. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much gonna do it for today's video. I just wanted to give a real quick garage video update because I've gotten so many questions about this. Hopefully this helped you. Hopefully this answered some of your questions about what these parts are, about what you see here, because I do a lot of filming here in the garage. So hopefully this answered all your questions. But if it didn't, feel free to leave them down below. Check out the links down below if you want to buy any of this stuff. A lot of this stuff's available on Amazon, so you'll get like 2-day shipping with it too. Anyway, smash the thumbs up if you liked it, guys. Subscribe if you haven't yet. And as always, stay obsessed.